Hey YouTube, bang over. Oh, I forgot to get that record. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is my pal Ronnie's. He sent me a picture of it when he got it. And I was like, that's the most hideous thing I've ever seen. But obviously, this is a travel guitar. This bit here actually unbolts quite. You know, that doubles as the thing. We've got the strap holders. This bit here comes off, so you don't actually need that bit, or you do need it for the strap. I wonder what it's like without it. Well, yeah, so very small thing. Here's the gig bag that it comes with. It's like, so pretty small travel guitar, has to be said. That's just a tie wrap, put a bit on it for hanging it on the wall. Yeah, that gives me an opportunity to weigh it actually, something to hang the scales off. But yeah, so headless. Down here, around this is basically just a metal rod with rollers on it. I'm kind of already looking at this thinking, maybe try and make one of some description. I see Lego Technic wheels doing this job almost the same as this. This actually, when you take the strings off, it falls out. So the tuners, as you can see, are here. They go around there. They go over. There's a bit of Velcro there to stop the strings scoring the body, and that's kind of it. I do want to say that because of where the tuners are, I really obviously try to do this with one hand's not ideal, right? That bit there does actually, apart from giving you something to stick the strap onto, it does kind of make it feel more like a guitar because you've got this bit to rest on, and it doesn't really seem. Apart from put goes behind there, doesn't it? Yeah. So and I'm pretty sure it's full scale. It certainly feels like it. It's PRS Washburn wing scale, 25-inch, so somewhere between a Strat and a Gibson, a Fender and a Gibson. Just so I've got it plugged into my Carlton amp there. So electrics consist of a volume and a tone and a hot rail, dual rail pickup in the bridge. I quite like that. Solving a problem that doesn't normally exist in a guitar. Obviously, if you just stuck a normal jack socket on, that's going to stick out the back of the guitar, so it's kind of on a tube, so there's somewhere for the actual socket to go. Works fine. The volume knob's not super easy to get to, but I mean, you just get used to it. As I was saying, my favourite thing about it is because the tuners are here, it's like you can bash it and put it in a case, and there's nothing. You're not going to accidentally knock the tuners. So saying that, it probably would stay in tune all the time. Tuning it's not actually that awkward. It was actually even the string winder does fit in there. So you know, it saved things. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to string, I'll say. But I mean, by the time I'd done one string, and by the time I'd done the 6 strings, I've kind of learned. By the time I got to the sort of last 2, I'd learned how to do it quite easily. It's just a little bit fidgety more than anything else. Got roller saddles here, and obviously rollers here as well. I did lowered the action and lowered the pickup a little bit. So when it's playing, it does seem a bit. I thought this bit here was a hideous waste of time, but actually when you're playing it there, it's like it's a good addition, this extra piece. I think it only comes off so you can fit it into a smaller case. Doesn't need it. And actually, if you're playing sitting down, again, it's like the tuners are out the way enough, and there's enough of a body there for it to sit, so it's kind of fine. The advantages of you can play it in the car, which I noticed when I've got a Steinberger bass, and because it's got no body, you can play it in the car because your arm doesn't hit off the door, and also the headstock doesn't hit off the door if you're sitting in the passenger seat. So I mean, I don't even know what make it is. It's a Traveller guitar, S23. There's a serial number. S maybe means Samick. I don't know. What does it have a make? No, it's a Traveller guitar, Speedster, and it's camouflaged. Oh, should I put the camouflage strap on it? I'm not sure the camouflage is the best idea for if you're using like a... Well, Roddy uses it when he goes fishing and stuff like that. Camouflaging it, I might leave it. You know, it's like, where's the guitar? Oh, shit. You can't see it because you're out camping, so maybe the other option, you know, if I was to choose one and I got to choose what colour it was, maybe neon yellow, something like that, so it's easy to see. But the camouflage, maybe if you're wanting to spook the fish, no, maybe that's, yeah, okay, maybe for fishing, you know, because they can see out the water, maybe having like neon clothes on and stuff isn't the way to do it. That's probably why it's camouflage. So I'll take that off. I still think that's really funny because I just texted her literally 2 minutes ago going, don't call me just now, I'm doing a video. So 2 minutes later, phone. That'll be really funny. It's not really funny. I've got a wee backer track in. Oh no, should I maybe do a bit of it? Alright, okay, so I'm going to go for my portable rig because that's, if you're playing this, it's unlikely you're going to be playing through a 50 watt amp. Do you know what I mean? You're more likely to be playing through a Blackstar Fly, which I would recommend. They're amazing little amps. This one of these, battery operated. Input goes in there. On the batteries are maybe a little bit flat in this, so it might not be sounding super good. But I'm just thinking about if you're, you know, sitting down by the river. That sounded really bad, didn't it? Apparently quite robust things. That's maybe one of the disadvantages of... maybe put it somewhere that it's not gonna... Yeah. So clean. So although I do recommend the Blackstar Fly as a wee mini amp, even if you're just playing in the house, it sounds really good. I think the batteries in it are going. This is the one I keep in the car for emergencies. Just to be, it's actually, I think it's exactly the same amp as the wee Marshall stack ones you get, but this one's got like a hook on it, so you can just stick it in your jeans pocket, like so. And I suppose you'd probably try and point it towards the mic, but you get the idea. So we'll turn it on. think even these wee tiny amps is. It's actually kind of alright. It doesn't sound bad. It kind of depends where you put it, I think. But I mean, volume wise, I mean, that's it at half. Okay, that's it. Distortion. If you're on clean, you have to turn the volume right up. But actually, if you're sitting around a campfire in the middle of nowhere, you know, it's like that is loud enough to be playing along with people. Yeah, so that was my portable thing. I'm just going to wrap this up and then put it back in the car. It's always handy having an amp. It's good for when you're going to buy guitars as well. It's like, oh, I don't have an amp to test it. And it's like, haha. And if the electrics don't work, I could maybe get a tenner off the price or something. So, car amp. Yeah, so we're running now through a proper. Not that there's anything improper about it, but you know what I mean. I don't know, wonder why there's no sound, just because I've turned off and turned on that. Rap pedal. Yeah, so I'd have to say I'm mighty impressed with it. I did when a pal showed me a picture of it. I was like, really? It's like, really? But I mean, it does go really small. And actually, I was going to wait, wasn't I? I'll unplug that because that'll probably interfere with the weight. But it weighs pretty much sod auto. That's going to be handy in a second. But really, this is including the strap, which when something weighs this much, it probably actually counts for something. Reset. It was a 0. There we go. So it comes in at 2.1 kilograms. So not a lot. Actually, what I was saying there, kind of a little bit. I found that in my old Panda. That sorry, that way. Is it that way? It's what I saw as soon as I saw it. There's also my record for Judas Priest Rockarola. I do have the. I eventually got the Coca-Cola top, but basically, the original they did the artwork of the sort of after the cover get banned. It's kind of a monster. It's kind of got that, but it's definitely. Yeah, first as soon as I saw it, was the first thing I thought. Oh, it looks like an alien, or it looks like that Judas Priest record cover. That's not going to stay back up there, is it? Totally falling off at some point and hitting me. But yeah, so kind of bizarre looking modular thing. I suppose it looks like you could kind of take it to bits with a couple of screws as well. But it's kind of, it is tempted to try and make one, really, or something. Maybe try and make it a little bit less hideous looking, but the concept's there, and if you're going to have a pickup, maybe having it at the, I don't know, it's well thought out. It's well thought out, and the kind of headless thing is, I quite like it. There are advantages to it. But I mean, this is like totally, you could totally learn to play the guitar on this. I've got a funny feeling it's not really that cheap though. I don't think this is like £100. I think this might be like twice that, maybe £200 or £300. Just because it works so well. You know, for £100 you don't really get a guitar. You don't get a guitar that plays as well as this, as good quality as this. Plus this has got extra stuff. You know, the whole foldable up aspect to it, and sort of non-standard parts. I mean, I don't know what these rollers will be from. They won't be specifically made for this guitar. They will be rollers from like washing machines or something like that. I'm sure they're just, it don't have to do very much. You know, it just needs to be like or maybe even toy car wheels, something like that. But the concept I dig. It's pretty hideous to look at, but even if you're talking about playing it, not bothering taking a wee amp along. And that's, you know, it's like because of all the tone wood, that's loud enough to, if you're just practicing something. It's certainly loud enough to, you know, if you're talking about sitting in the car, or even like on the side of like a river somewhere, or like out in the middle of nowhere. You can play it. You can definitely loud enough for you to just hear it, to hear what it is you're doing for learning stuff and all that. Yes, so ultimately I'm impressed. I don't think I've really got an excuse to have one, but I do probably have an excuse to build one. It came to it. I don't think I'd be able to make it quite as light or as small. So there you can just, as I said, the strap button is literally just, there's two holes in that bit. That weighs nothing. So if you're playing it sitting down, you might not really necessarily even. You don't really need that, but it does make it a little bit comfier, but you don't really need it. And when it goes into its case, I assume that just goes in on top of it like that. Unless it there, does that have to go in front of me? You know. Yeah, it's definitely easier to carry than any sort of normal guitar. You know, it's like smashing me thing. Yes, no, mighty impressed. One of those ones that I thought, oh god, this looks awful. Bit of a faff to change the strings. I just set it up a wee bit, polished the frets, lowered the action, so it's now playing better than it was when I got it. But Malco approves. If you're not the looks, obviously it looks hideous, but if you're camping or going hiking or something like that, really at that sort of weight, you can kind of just have that stuck in the side of your rucksack, and you've got a perfectly good guitar, especially if you take along, you know, maybe even not something as big as that. I just like that because I use that when we go to download and stuff because it's cheap, and if it broke or someone's pinched it, or no one's going to pinch it, but you know what I mean, or if you drop it in a puddle, it's not the end of the world. Whereas the wee Black Star things, they are like 40 quid, something like that. I think they were only 40 quid new, so it's probably worth. Mind you, I was quite impressed that survived a fall onto the floor there. That was my old stupid mistake for putting it on top of like a slide rule and a couple of picks on top of a just polished surface, and then pulling at it with a it doesn't lacking. Oh, it does have rubber feet. Yeah, but these wee things are pretty amazing as well. And to be honest, if you're playing in the house, it's kind of all you need, really. I mean, you can definitely play along with, see if someone's playing an acoustic. This and this basically are enough to get you loud enough to play lead guitar over somebody playing an acoustic. Sound quality is not fantastic on this, but it's a sound. That's really all you need, isn't it? It's loud enough, and there's something you can do with it. Yeah, so speedster, traveller guitar, speedster. I'm going to actually look up and see how much they go for. I mean, if it's the sort of thing, I don't know, I'll be looking eBay. It's the sort of thing, I don't think you're going to see one for 40 or 50 quid. If I saw one for 40 or 50 quid, I would totally jump at it, and I would just keep it in the car. Brilliant. But I bet either a couple of hundred. There might even be more than that. But fantastic little thing. Rockin'. See you during the week.